Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Thursday. So we had some pretty cool stuff that we get to talk about. Yeah, the sales are pretty good too, so it's still moving along. All right, the first thing is this Matchbox green car. It looks like a little golf cart or something like this. This one ended up selling for $7 plus shipping. This is not from the people that we got a bunch of cars from that flip Storgens. This is from an auction house from when Annetta bought these big piles of them really cheap, no one was bidding against her. So yeah, this was $7. I think she literally got piles for $5 or $10. It was she must have just been at the auction line at the right time where no one else was just looking at them. And then that's when I first started digging into these little cars and realizing even with little knowledge on them that we can sell them for a good amount of money. All right, moving along, we have a DVD right here. This is American Hardcore, the history of American punk rock. So it's going to be some kind of music video, history video about music. I don't know anything about this one. This one sold for $10.50. We do like to pick up or at least I do when I'm out and about, interesting, weird DVDs that aren't your classic ones, because the classic ones kind of just everyone has them. So they end up being pretty cheap on eBay because there will be a bunch of listings for I don't know, a Disney movie or something. All right, moving along, we have some more War Machine stuff that sold. It's been a little bit. We got a lot of stuff from auction. A lot of it is sold. This is Protectorate of Menoth, which are kind of the holy Cleric faction. This is Intercessor Kressos, Cavalry Epic Warcaster. So the Warcasters are going to be the main character who have a bunch of special abilities. If you lose your Warcaster, you lose the game. And I think there is another way to win the game. I think if you rout enough of the enemy units, you also win, I believe. So yeah, that's a cool one. That's metal. That sold for $24.49. I have a note that I spent $3.75 for that at auction. So that the War Machine stuff has been paying off a lot. And same with the Warhammer 40K. All right, moving along, we have this book right here. This is an interesting one, the Book of Props, Mind's Eye Theater. So yeah, I get a lot of this. So Mind's Eye Theater, I believe, is going to be a LARP, a live action role-playing game. And then there's going to be these rule books by White Wolf. They've done a bunch of stuff like Vampire Masquerade and stuff like that. You can actually see people have whoever made this book, they were just taking their personal pictures and their outfits and stuff. So yeah, this stuff I can kind of find all over the place. It is pretty cheap. Excuse me, but I do have good luck selling it. So yeah, this Book of Props and stuff sold for $11 plus shipping. Or sorry, I already said that we do plus shipping for everything. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I just happened to pick it up just because I'm I feel like someone's going to eventually like it. I've sold lots of the Mind's Eye Theater stuff before, and then I have a bunch of extra. So when one sells, I just take new pictures and relist it. All right, moving along, we have a Super Nintendo Real Monsters instruction booklet right here. Obviously, video game stuff does pretty well. We don't find too much around our area. People are on it just vultures. Like I said, we barely find any. We're aware that video game stuff is good. This we got a long time ago when we were first starting. This sold for $6. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but people do want to complete their box sets, even for a game that's considered not highly rated or someone's going to play it lots versus a Super Mario World type of thing. But they do want to still complete them. All right, next up is going to be a hardcover book, The First Pictorial History of the American Oil and Gas Industry right here from 1859 to 1983. It doesn't have its dust jacket. Okay, you can still see the title right here. And on the inner page, it's going to have the title of the book. But yeah, our cat's straight up on her back. She's sleeping right now, and everything's up in the air, and then her eyes are closed. So she's having yeah. You want to pause it real quick and show them? All right, it's all good. She's great. This sold for $8.75. All right, moving along, we have lots of 100 Doomtown cards right here, or Deadlands. So yeah, this is going to be the Doomtown system. This is a collectible card game. They've gone through a couple of companies. This is Pinnacle Entertainment. So yeah, I got a lot of these at auction. I got a big box of Dead Card Game stuff for $11. So I ended up just choosing to do lots of 100 because I couldn't figure out the rarities and stuff. There is a website, CCG Trader, which I could have gone through all the cards to try to figure out which ones were labeled rare, because people know if you've been playing the game and stuff like that. But there's just no little symbols that show which ones are rare. So this one, I'll lay out all the cards and all the names, and then I'll let them know what the condition. These are I say lightly played to near mint. They're more near mints, but I say lightly played just in case, because we handle them a little bit. And then I'd rather the customer be happy when they get them and they're oh wow, these are actually near mints, not lightly played. This sold for $17.49. I label this one E, so I have a bunch of these. I think this is kind of the first one from the particular auction that sold, but it's pretty cool. The auction's been doing really well for us. All right, moving along, we have something that I'm aware of. These are Button Shy Games. But this is Revolver Noir Rogue Agents. So Button Shy games are these little card games. They usually have like a set number of cards, like 2 to 10 or something, and expansions sometimes they're just like 1 card or 2 card. These are like highly collectible by board game players and collectors, and they kind of, I think they sell a lot of their stuff on their website, but they don't restock too often. So like people really like collecting this stuff. It's also easy to store. If you have like 100 of their games, it's just going to be like, like in a box or something like that. I haven't played any of the games. None of them really intrigue me. Just like a small amount of cards. Like, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of like collecting board games in that kind of sense, if that makes sense. This little packet though sold for $24.50, or this game. It's a full-fledged game. I'm aware when I see these out in the wild, people don't understand that those, like what they are. I'll see it. It doesn't say Button Shy on it. I'm just like, oh, that's a Button Shy game. I can tell it's a small little packet. I can tell it's like small little cards. I'm 95% sure. I'll look it up later. It's Button Shy. And then usually I do, and there's not that many on eBay. Because like I said, sometimes it'll take them years to like reprint just like a particular game if people want to collect them. So it's pretty cool. All right, moving along, we have the Pantheon and Pagan Faiths right here. This is going to be a D20 system, so you can use this with Dungeons and Dragons. So this is just like a little RPG book. We get a lot of these. Actually, it's been a while since we got some RPG books. It's been like a year or so since we got like a good amount. This sold for $12.60, but you can even see from the Mind's Eye Theater in this Pantheon, like we do sell them often. All right, moving along, we have something that we got a long time ago. These were pretty cool. When I first started, these are, and they're still cool if we find them now, hybrid seed like little notebooks. Mountjoy Hybrids right here is the company. This is interesting because the person that we got that flipped storage units that we got like the cars and stuff recently from, 4 years ago, we got a bunch of they had these like corn books. They must have like gotten a farmer's like storage unit. And then we listed a bunch of them. And then we had like a couple people that were like coming back as I was listening. We had like hundreds, and they were buying these like lots and stuff. Like, yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, it was good. It was like a good first taste of like weird, interesting ephemeron and niche paper products and stuff like this. People like them with specific companies. I obviously don't know what these are other than like cool little notebooks or they keep track of their crops and stuff. Like some of them have like all these graphs and charts. So yeah, these two just sold for $6. I had like 20 of these, so I just relisted another set of 2, and we've sold most of those little like farm hybrid seed books and stuff. So they're pretty cool. It'd be cool to run across some more. All right, moving along, we have a Choose Your Own Adventure book. This is Time Traveler right here, Voyage with Columbus. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Someone is just excited about this one, I guess. It's in pretty good condition. This one sold for $8, so nothing fancy. All right, moving along, there's a bunch of Vegas like coins that we got for free from Anetta's mom. They had someone that like was into like Vegas stuff, and they just had a pile of these random coins. I knew nothing about them. I did spend like 2 days listing them. They were pretty hard because like I have the white photo box and these like silver shiny, so I had to like find ways to put them on like brown, and I was struggling to take pictures. But this is just a lot of 64. I'll try to show. I'll cover my face the best I can. Let me know if they can see that one. There's like just like an eagle with like branches on the front, so it's gonna be nothing too special. Can they see it? Yeah, it's just nothing too special. And then on the front is the eagle, and then on the back is just like it says no cash value. So yeah, nothing too crazy. The person messaged asking if they were a quarter size or $half. I said quarter. This is a lot of 64. This sold for $20.29. I have no idea if these are still usable. I doubt it. I don't know what they're collecting them for. I was really over my head with this stuff. This is the first thing that sold from all of them, so I'm kind of happy because I did spend like a day and a half is about like usually 12 hours of listing, so I'm only at 29, so it wasn't really the best use of my time, but I'm excited to at least sell one lot. But the items were free, so I don't really have a cost into that. So when they sell, it's just the packaging material and then my time, which is important, like very important. But so I like when one thing sells because that means I did something right and potentially more can sell. Like someone sought this out, they liked it, they asked a question, they bought it. All right, next up, and I just talked about this game recently. So it's interesting that it sold. I think we might have sold it definitely way too cheap, but the shipping on this thing is going to be a monster. This is Seventh Continent, the board game. We just sold the expansion pack, one of the like 7 or 8 expansion packs for $55. Obviously, there's going to be like fees and you have to pay for the shipping and or the shipping box materials. All right, so yeah, this is the board game. They also have like a white box, and they have tons of other expansions and stuff at this point. But this is just like the classic base game. You're going through like an exploration on the continent, figuring out curses. Someone actually printed out an FAQ. I actually just kept that in there because that's just like a nice thing to have. So Yeah, I'm going to try to carefully do this. There are like all of these cards right here are like exploration cards. These all have like story. Yeah, like there's a bunch right there. Yeah, look, like there's just a lot that goes on with the game. There's like over like 1,600 of these cards. Some of them are going to be like pieces of the map, and then when you flip them over, it tells you what happened. There's like little items and stories to read. It's just a lot. Like this game weighs a lot. Maybe like 6 to 8 pounds. So yeah, a lot of this is gonna be in the shipping. This game, I think when it came out, I'm not sure what it was on Kickstarter, but like just like random memories, it's like usually $100 game. We sold it only for $39.19 and 15 shipping. So they're probably close by in Ground Advantage. But yeah, this is a pretty heavy one. It's pretty in depth. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we're already in the profit for the particular auction. I bought this base game, the white base game, and like 8 expansions. I think I did spend like between 40 to 52 or something. So we were already almost in the profit with the expansion. This is going to bring us into the profit after like even after the fees and stuff. And then I still have the white base game and like 7 more expansions to sell. So it's pretty cool. I took a little gamble on this, but I was like, no one else was bidding too much on this. And like, 2 7th continents plus a bunch of expansions. I was like, there's no way I can lose money on this. All right. So yeah, that person's gonna be excited because that's actually a pretty good deal. Basically like $50 for like what should be like $100 game is really exciting for them. All right, moving along, we sold another little car. This is ERTL, like a Bobcat, and it's on kind of like a trailer, and it's like wired on. So it's like someone opened up the box around it and then just like kept it like this right there. I don't know if they can see it. This ended up selling for $30.79. So this one's pretty good because this is from the person we spent $350 on that flip storage units, but doesn't really like to deal with small stuff like this. And then the last thing for the day is some like unique board game maps. This is Knights of the Hound table. So there's like a pig on it and a bunch of little slots for like cards. There's 4 of them rolled up here. So it's gonna be for 4 players. So yeah, when you find these like unique board game mats, or at least when we do, I like to grab them. They're not gonna be too crazy. This actually sold for $19.60, which is pretty good for like a board game like playmat. Normally like board game playmats are kind of like obnoxious to ship and store because they'll be like these longer mats that you have to roll out, and then like the bigger size just kills it for shipping for the buyer or the seller. These ones are a lot more reasonable because they're going to be like player mats. But yeah, I've never heard of this game. So yeah, it's some kind of like pun because Knights of the Hound table, and then there's like cards. So yeah, usually playmats that have usually games that have playmats for cards usually do better because then it makes sure that the cards don't really like stick to whatever table, and then like it moves nicely on the neoprene. So these are neoprene playmats. So that's everything. I do have a video coming out after this, which won't necessarily be fully eBay related. I won't be like talking too much in it, but it does kind of relate to it. So I'm going to do some video about like the Path of Exile cards. So if you're into what I'm selling every day, you can skip that one. If you just want to watch all of our videos, go ahead and look at it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.